This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
And we are live here on Pet Life Radio and Instagram. I just got the thumbs up from Pet Life Radio. So we are here ready to talk pets. You're here live with Dr. Jeff Werber, your host for the next 30 minutes here on Pet Life Radio's Ask the Vets with Dr. Jeff. And we're here on both. I'm going to raise up the volume just a bit. And anyway, I'm waving. Hello, Stephanie. So actually, I want to say hi to Jeff and Steph. We met them actually here in Cabo about a month ago. And I just wanted to say hello to, of course, Walter and George as well. And we're here. For those of you who, well, many of you may know at this point, because unfortunately, that's what Instagram and Facebook do. But we here for a birthday celebration. Yes, my birthday, not a good one. When I think about it, I think, oh my God, is it real? Can it really happen? 70 years old? I mean, people, you got to have an image in your mind, of what someone looks like at a certain age. And I'm trying to figure out, is this what it's all about? So anyway, hit the big 7-0. And actually after this, a bunch of my high school classmates were doing a Zoom call with, I don't know, about 8 or 9 of us. 4 of us or 5 of us have December birthdays. So we're doing an all-inclusive Zoom for all the birthdays. And most of us, well, some turning 70, actually some turning 71. So anyway, but having a good time here in Cabo, back to the real world. Tonight, back in the office tomorrow morning. So, no rest for the wicked. Anyway, we have first question coming in. Best sedative to use on a nervous cat who is 7 years old, weighs 15 pounds, and no underlying health issues. Over-the-counters don't work. Well, there are a number. I seem to like trazodone for cats. For short-term spurts, something like trazodone. I don't like acepromazine for cats. Some use it. It's not like it's contraindicated. But I find that when cats start to lose their senses about them, sometimes it makes them even crazier, more wild. So I'm a good fan of just, going something that just calms them down, settles them. Now, if it's around the house, then you should also think about, there's some products out there that use like kitty pheromones, like Feel-Away, and you can use plug-in diffusers or a spray, and that also kind of brings them down behaviorally. It just calms them. There's also some natural products, valerian, passion flower, chamomile, melatonin that might work as well. It all depends on the degree. And also, if you have a cat that's always nervous or always having issues, then, things like Elavil, amitriptyline could help as well. But if it's for certain instances where the cat is going to be very nervous and need a sedative, I think trazodone. But if this is the cat and you're using something long-term, I'd think about Elavil, amitriptyline, talk to your veterinarian, but that's what I'd recommend. Okay, let me just wave. More questions, love. December 31st. I have one of our group today is December 29th. And it was funny. I was sitting here in the pool the other day and sitting and talking. It was yesterday and talking to some people. And I mentioned that my birthday is today. And one of the gals says, "Oh, my birthday was yesterday." And then another girl had her birthday also yesterday. So the 13th and 2 of us on the 14th. It was crazy. Missy, right. So if it's for Christmas, so when it's for a particular incident that freaks them out, I would think trazodone. It works really well, and it is just that kind of chill that they sometimes need. So I would recommend that. That seems to be good. Supplement for a senior dog. Again, there are many supplements out there, multivitamins. If there's any particular problem, then you want to set. Otherwise, you can find some, all-inclusive multivitamin mineral supplements for cats. For dogs, I have one actually that's really good. It's called my Body Boost. You can get it have it at my office or you can get it online on Amazon. It's premium. So it's Performance by Dr. Jeff is the line, and the product is called Body Boost, and it's a great beef flavored chew for dogs. They seem to really like it, and it's sort of all inclusive. Bethany, hello there. My sister's there. Wish me a happy birthday already. And to have a great birthday. Yes, I had a really good birthday. It was just, it was chill. And that's what I wanted. Nothing over crazy, but no, relaxing. I guess that matters. Very relaxing. And again, at my age, you need to. No, I hate thinking that. I'm not gonna go there. I don't feel whatever. That's what they say. Whatever 70 is supposed to feel like, I don't think that's how I feel. So I'm going at it just like that, no matter what anybody says. So let's see. Wave. Drink scotch. Of course, I had some scotch. And come on, I've had drink scotch, but it's not my birthday. I'm going to drink it on my birthday. All right, let's see. More questions. So, I had this discussion with somebody recently, and there seems like I'm seeing a lot of cancer cases lately. I did 2 very major cancer surgeries just this past week alone. Both were oral cancers, and that worries me because, interestingly, you've all heard about melanoma. Here I am in sunshine like an idiot, but I do use plenty of sunblock. But melanoma, we know, is something that affects pets as well. Interestingly, the melanoma that's as aggressive as our melanoma seems to affect only really 2 areas of the body, of a pet's body, mostly dogs, and that is the mouth and the nail bed for some reason. Dogs that have a melanomas on their bodies usually, and again, I use that word usually, there's no such thing as 100%, but usually are not that very aggressive, i.e. removing them is usually curative. In the mouth, however, and then here's another interesting fact, and I just learned this going through a pathological report of a mass that I submitted for biopsy. Sure enough, unfortunately, came back melanoma. This was a non-pigmented melanoma. One of the ones I did this week was the whole mass, and it was huge, was black. So you knew that it was a melanoma. It turns out, and I found this fascinating, that at least in dogs, in oral melanomas, the ones that are pigmented, the black ones, are less aggressive than the ones that don't have pigment. And I thought that was pretty interesting. The one I just did was under the tongue, was in the mouth, the gums under the tongue. I was able to remove it I pretty much in its entirety. It's cat that is doing great now. She said eating feels so much better. But anyway, that one is doing better. But that was a light melanoma, so I'm a little bit concerned. And again, it may not be melanoma. There are other oral tumors that animals get. So we kind of wait and see what the biopsy results show. Okay, let me see. Let me work on. Yes, had a great birthday. Thank you so much. Something for senior dogs. You talked about it at Christmas. I'm doing a lot of waves, guys. I want to get some questions here. There's got to be something that's on your mind. But anyway, liver and spleen cancer cases are high. Yes. And it's hard to tell. Is there something in the environment? Is it something in the foods that we're feeding? Or is it a lot of these animals are living a little bit longer than they used to, and now we're just starting to see cancers. Now, there's a case that I just read about, interestingly, that a dog presented with signs that could have been, and I mentioned that loosely, I'll give you a little education in a minute, early bone cancer. With bone cancer, osteosarcoma, we see what we call bone lysis, which is like eating away of the good bone, and proliferation, meaning new bone being formed on the outside. But there are a couple of things about osteosarcoma. It's usually in one spot. It doesn't cross the joint. Now, chondrosarcoma, which is the joint capsule sarcoma of a joint, that does obviously cross the joint. So this one did not cross the joint, but they also found other lesions on the toes that were very similar to the ones at the distal leg. Okay, it was a radius. So that I found very interesting because usually osteosarcoma doesn't do that. You're not going to find 2 bones at the same time. Is it impossible? No. Here's what was concerning about this case. The owners opted for amputation. And they were going to put it on chemo. But of course, now that they had the bone, they were biopsying the bone. Now, what normally is done, if there is any question, and you're boiling down to something other than bone cancer, what you want to do you want to amputate right away? Or let's do a bone biopsy. While the bone is still there, while it's still attached to the dog, there are ways you give a bone punch, and you can get a piece of bone, and you can submit it and you do it with the, you put a little marker on the X-ray so you know exactly where you're going. And even if you put like a stainless steel staple, so that shows up on an X-ray, and you see where you feel the bone swollen. You look at the X-ray, you put the staple in, you take another X-ray, and if it's right where you are supposed to be, then that's your spot. So you take the sample, right? Anyway, they didn't do this. They went for the operation right away, thinking that he wanted the dog to suffer. They did the pain. I get it, but I don't want to amputate. For me, amputation is the last resort. I'll make sure that we're amputating the right thing. So P.S., it came back as a fungal lesion, treated with antifungal medication, long-term treatment. But anyway, I felt so badly for this poor dog who they had something that was treatable medically, and they rushed to amputate. It was an older dog, like 9 years old or something. Personally, I would have been more comfortable doing a bone biopsy first if there was any question. Now, sometimes there's no question. And then you could talk about the lesion. You follow it a month later, you see it is how much more proliferative, how much more bone destruction. And there are very few things that behave like that other than a severe bone cancer, and it didn't cross the joint. So yes, you would amputate at that point. So anyway, but my bottom line is, don't rush for treatments. It's best if you can to try to plan it out. Use some, I know, thanks, Steve. It's about time I reach 70. As you have 13 days now or 14 days before you move up one. So yes, I know. So, just be a little bit more patient. Unfortunately, and again, I think COVID slowed things down a little bit, but we used to get biopsy samples back within 5 days. Now they're saying 7, sometimes 10. So, and then sometimes the tissue has to be pre-treated to get an accurate read. So, and it's very hard to tell a client, we did this, but we have to do, but I can't tell you what it is for at least another 7 to 10 days. I know it's frustrating, but you got to bear with us. It's not up to us. If it was up to me, I would give you an answer in a day, but I don't prepare the biopsies. I don't read the biopsies, and nor am I qualified to do so. So, you just have to hang in there. And I can't diagnose young dogs or cats. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We see it, unfortunately, and I'll never forget my very first rotation in oncology rotation in vet school. One of our first cases was a 9-month-old magnificent golden retriever with a huge fibrosarcoma on his face and head. And there was there's no way, nothing that could be done. That poor guy had to be put to sleep. More recently, we had, and for some reason, fibrosarcs don't care about age. And this was a gorgeous Doberman Pinscher. I think it was only 3 or maybe 4 at the time. We diagnosed him at 3, and they did everything. They did radiation therapy. They did everything they could to shrink it. And it was also in a jaw. And ultimately, we had to say goodbye when he was 4. It was one of the toughest ones. I went to their house to do the house call euthanasia. And when you have a dog that was, first of all, magnificent and so friendly, he's like, of all the dogs that you're going to have to say goodbye to way before their time, it'd have to be such a gorgeous, friendly one. Some of these dogs are, very nasty and aggressive. It's never easy to put a dog to sleep, but, that's like the wrong, this poor dog, picked the end of the straw to be not only sweet, had everything going for it, looks, behavior, personality, everything was perfect. And we had to say goodbye way too early. So I do see it. Fortunately, back to your question, New York Yankee, most of the time that we see cancers, it's going to be in older middle-aged and older dogs, mostly young. In fact, when a young dog comes in with a problem, I clearly say, I'm not saying it's not cancer, but it would be so unlikely to be cancer. Nothing's impossible. I've learned that lesson many, many years ago. Nothing's impossible, but it's not a possibility, it's a probability. And a young dog having cancer, not impossible, but it's low probability. So I would be looking for other things before just settling on a cancer diagnosis in a young dog. All right, my cat just started budesonide for IBD, sneezing like crazy, and is congested in connection. Well, budesonide does work well for IBD. Might it be causing some immunosuppression because of its property of anti-inflammatory, and maybe some immune-mediated component of budesonide. It is possible. I wouldn't jump to it. Cats we know get URIs, upper respiratories. I would certainly get an X-ray, see if it is something lung, and then with congestion or whatever, I would start a course of antibiotics along. Of course, don't stop the budesonide yet, especially if it's working for the IBD. Then I would yes, it's possible, but I would not again put those blinders on. I would say, okay, we have a respiratory infection. Whether it's not related, let's treat it. And the second X-ray, let's see what the lungs are involved. Is there a nasal discharge or just sneezing? And then is there any coughing? And then if it is just a URI, upper respiratory infection, it could be it's just a URI. Now, is the cat indoor, outdoor, or just indoor? If it was indoor, outdoor, that would raise the probability of it being a URI, upper respiratory infection. If it's an indoor only, but you have multiple cats, then that's also a possibility. Is your cat up to date on his respiratory vaccines? So there are so many other things I want to look at before jumping to a conclusion. And this is where it just, you have to take the blinders off and just look at every possibility as if budesonide was not in the equation. And then if everything checks out fine and you're left with just the budesonide, everything else, no other cats, up to date on vaccines, the lungs are clear, everything's clear, doesn't respond to antibiotics, then I'd say, okay, maybe it is budesonide. So again, I'm not saying impossible. 11-year-old boxer keeps falling on his hips and he can't get up without help. Which something's happened. Let's walk him. Okay, so that's a great question, and it's time for our break. So let me go through another Martineau, and then we're going to come back and talk about that. This is one that I think everybody can benefit from. So don't go away. Here, stick around. You can hear some really good answers on this next question. In the meantime, I have Pet Life Radio is going to play its commercials, and we'll be back after these short messages. Do not go away.
You know the expression, cats have 9 lives. Well, what if you can give them one more? The Give Them 10 movement is on a mission to help give cats an extra life. How? With spay and neuter. Spaying or neutering your cat helps them live a longer, healthier life. And it helps control free-roaming cat populations too. Learn more about the benefits of spay and neuter and meet Scooter, the neutered cat, at GiveThem10.org. That's GiveThem10.org.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We are back live here on Pet Life Radio and on Instagram Live. And don't request me. Does that answer your question? I hope I helped. But if I had to hang in there and wait, that would be my recommendation. If you're my patient, I would try it to not do it this soon. So let's go with the great question about the boxer falling on his hips. And so first of all, 11-year-olds for boxer is old. You can't fake it. Now, the assumption is, could be hip or knee related, and boxers aren't notoriously known for hip dysplasia, though they can. But I would definitely have x-rays taken because we don't want to concentrate just on hips or only the hip joint. Because I see boxers with caudate equina syndrome, which is lumbosacral instability, or other disc areas, which could be causing spondylosis and bridging of vertebrae, which could cause weakness in the hind end or pain in the hind end. And that's where the difference comes in. Is it muscle weakness? Is it lack of use? Is it truly discomfort? Is it arthritis, etc.? Once we have more of an answer, let's say it is arthritis, and the dog there's a vicious cycle. Because of the pain, they stop using their back legs. Because they stop using their back legs, they develop muscle atrophy. So now it's a double whammy. It's arthritis, arthritic pain, and because of that, you're losing muscle mass. So now it's also neuromuscular weakness. So it's something you really want to address. Now, this is where, and you go online and you hear horrible things about certain, especially new medications. We heard it about Rimadyl, and that was 20 years ago. And guess what? It's still way in use, and millions of animals are taking advantage of it and doing well. All right. Then there's the new isoxazolines, flea and tick medications. Oh, terrible things about it. Seizures. Yeah. That's such a small minority. The new one that's getting beat up pretty badly is Librela. Now, mind you, Librela in Europe has been on the market for over 5 or 6 years and doing great. Millions upon millions of doses. I have been using it since it's been licensed by the FDA here in the States. I probably have, I want to say 20 or 30 animals on it, and literally every single one is doing great. They are coming in for their next shots a month or 6 weeks later. So I would 100% say there's no downside. If your dog is already on a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, whether it's carprofen, Vecrofen, Rimadyl, which are all the same, by the way, or Meloxicam, which is Metacam, also a good one. So if it's on any of those, then Daracoxib, also a good one. So I would definitely try that. Now, I would also do Librela. Librela is a once-a-month shot, subcutaneous. They do very, very well. And as I said, I've had great results on the Librela. So much so that, like, clients calling me, writing me, texting me, saying, that's the work. Big all capitals. And they want to come in for the next shot. So I would do that. But, I would supplements. I would do, of course, chondroitin, glucosamine. I have my supplement. It's called Flex, FLEXX, also available Amazon or through me. And it is very, very effective. It's got the MSM, chondroitin, glucosamine, turmeric. It's got a lot of stuff in it that are known to be very joint friendly and to help the body build up its own cartilage. Another one, if it is a really bad arthritis, not just for the arthritis pain, which is what the Librela shot does, but I'd also think about Adequan injections. Adequan is the original polysaccharide, polysulfated glycosaminoglycans, PSGAG for short. Most people prefer PSGAG over polysulfated glycosaminoglycans. Anyway, it also very, very effective. It works more effectively than most of the orals. Not to say don't do the orals, but if you have something that's severe enough and the orals don't seem to be working as much, try the Adequan injections. Talk to your veterinarian. So there are a number of things we have that we can use that we find, very, very, very helpful, and I think it's worth looking into. So if you have any questions, reach out to me privately. But that's what I would help. Supplements and Librela shots, but try to get a diagnosis. Get some X-rays of the back, mid back, lower spine, and the hips and knees, and let's see really what could it be. But it's worse when you exercise too much. That tells me now we just think that it could be muscle, but a lot of times dogs with just arthritis, once they get up, they're slow to get up, but once they start moving, they seem to get a little better. So as I said, I'm not convinced that is, not saying it's not arthritis, but I'm not convinced that it's just arthritis. Anyway, there you go. There you have it. Picking my brain. All right, you got the Cane Corso, Shane. Let's see. He's very sweet. I know they usually are sweet. I'm jealous. What color is he? Black? Brendo? What is he? Let me know. Let's see. Boxer question, please, Martin. Oh, yeah, I got you there. I wanted to save it till we came back. So yeah, if you're talking about Librela, I would definitely think about it. 15 more dog. Oh, I made it after the holidays. He's lean muscle. Oh yeah, muscle mass, heart murmur, congestive heart failure. Well, it is hard, especially because he still eats. But I often ask this question, and that is when you're dealing with something like this, you have to ask yourself a few things. Number one, is he happy? All right. Does he look forward to his days, like waking up the next morning? Does he seem to get joy when you come home after work or after being gone? Is he in pain? You did say he's eating, so that's a good point. If he's not eating, that's a biggie. And overall, look at his quality of life. Is he living, or is he just existing? These are the things you have to start asking yourself. Because one of the things I often tell my clients, I've learned this from a colleague of mine, and that is that you really can't make a mistake by saying goodbye a little bit too early, but you can make a terrible mistake by waiting too long. So the whole idea is dogs, they shouldn't suffer at all. And that's what we want. We want them not to suffer. So if it means 3 weeks, a month, when you look at 15 years, how many months, how many days in 15 years, what's 2 weeks? I mean, it's nothing. as long as it saves him from suffering. Because that's the beauty when we get to say goodbye and to prevent that. And I call that the beauty or the gift of euthanasia. So, but look at the big picture and think about answers to those questions. If this were grandma, would you be considering a nursing home or full-time nursing care? I mean, when we get to that point, it's not a life. They're existing, but they're not. All right, for that sad note, I will let you go to anything. So, wave. Fawn in Black. Love it. All right, so I got all my waves in. All right, any other questions as we have 3 minutes to go? And I'm trying to make sure I got everybody, got all your questions. Okay, if I got everybody. So anyway, I am having a great time. Thank you all for your birthday wishes. I'm not thankful for the birthday, but I am thankful for the birthday wishes. And as I'll be joining a bunch of my high school classmates in about a half hour, we're going to be talking. We're doing a Zoom meeting I remember back a year ago, I went on that trip to the Rogue River in Oregon. That was 9 of us. And we had 2 of us that are joining us that couldn't make the trip. But we're all a lot of December birthdays. So we're going to be celebrating together. And okay, looking forward to seeing and talking to everybody. All right. So other than that, stay healthy. Have your dog checked out. We are approaching some more holidays coming up. So we are going to be talking about the holiday do's and don'ts probably next week, because we got Christmas coming, we got Hanukkah coming, and there are a lot of things we have to watch out for our pets. So it's good that this year they come out on top of each other, literally. So I think the 25th, Christmas Day, is also the first lights of Hanukkah. So there'll be a lot to talk about. And if you have any questions during the week that can't wait till Sunday, please get a hold of me anytime, here on Instagram, here on Pet Life Radio, Dr. Jeff at PetLifeRadio.com, Instagram, Werbs_DDM. Please tell your friends, if you have animal lover friends, have them join us, have them come on, and anything I can do to help them be better pet parents, help their pets' lives. That would be my thrill. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. And that's one of the reasons why, after 40 years, I'm still doing this. Most of my vet school classmates are retired, and I just can't retire. I would either die of boredom or my clients would kill me. It doesn't look pleasant when I think about it. So I might have more time to take advantage of a couple of these long weekends. That I wouldn't mind. Okay, I'm going back over the questions to make sure I got everybody, and I think I did. So good. All right. So once again, thanks for joining me here. Any questions during the week, you can always reach me. I'm thrilled, but you're not bothering me. Trust me, I get such a kick out of helping you with your pets. And follow me on Instagram. Have your friends follow, and maybe you'll learn something. I post good things too. I post a lot of surgeries. I hope it doesn't gross you out, but it's. I hope they're helpful. All right, everybody, have a great week. Mark, thank you. Thanks everybody for joining me here on Pet Life Radio, and we'll see you all here next week. Same bad time, same bad channel here on Pet Life Radio, and Ask the Vets with Dr. Jeff. And see you then.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.